It is a great pleasure to conduct the national webinar on the topic, essential necessity topic. This is the innovation, a perennial imperative for the startup. Promoting the students toward the innovations. I thank all the department, the convener Ramesh Naik and the coordinator Imran and the principal sir, the MD sir, those who are encouraging and motivating the taking such a type of webinar sessions. Very happy, and I wish this webinar will give the guidance to the students. The topic itself, the title of this topic, the innovation, a perennial imperative starts up. It is a very impressive and it is essential in these conditions also. So very thank you. Wish you all the best and all the success. Sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your valuable speech and motivation to us. Really, it is a very good support to us. Now, I request Salome madam to introduce resource person.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being a part. One day national webinar on innovation, a perennial imperative for startups. It's my great privilege to introduce Speaker of the Day, Mr. Atyam Baswaraj Garu. Mr. Baswaraj Garu, acting as CEO for Biz Trends Consulting, Ahmedabad. Previously, he acted as Director for Anwar Group, CEO for Malbo Tech and Oxford Inc., CMO and Vice President for Sonami Group Company, COO for President Park Group. Apart from this, he acted as manager, senior manager, and general manager for different companies. Mr. Baswaraj Garu, having 12 plus years experience in academic, he have been teaching management studies in Nirma University, Ahmedabad. Mr. Baswaraj Garu completed his BTech in the stream of mechanical engineering from Sri Venkateshwara University, Andhra Pradesh, and PGDRM from Institute of Rural Management, Gujarat. Mr. Baswaraj Garu, having international exposure, he worked in Thailand and Bangladesh, visited more than 24 countries, USA to Europe, Turkey to Singapore, and Hong Kong, Mexico for business. With this brief profile, let me invite the speaker of the day, Mr. Baswaraj Garu, to handle the session. Thank you.
Hope I am audible.
Yeah, you are quite audible.
Wonderful. Great.
And visible too. We are happy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice to see you all again, and thank you very much for inviting me to really conduct this webinar. Okay, as for introduction, thank you very much, ma'am. And let me give a little bit of an overview of what and why I have chosen this particular topic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Because everybody was muted, so I also got muted. Okay, right. No problems. Okay, so the topic that I have chosen is basically the innovation, a perennial imperative for startups. Hope everybody understands English, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so what I would do is I will run you through a little bit of a presentation, and if there are any questions, doubts, you can really interrupt me and ask the questions. No problems. Let us be interactive as far as possible if we want to really, instead of a boring lecture. Okay. And I don't want it to be a lecture also in the sense that I want to really give more of, practical example, so that you will be able to really understand what I am really talking about and what is it that we can really take home as far as the relationship between innovation and startup is concerned. Okay, right. Just to give you a clarification, perennial imperative, what does it mean? That means continuous necessity. We management people, we always use management jargon. Okay, that is basically to make sure that the management good. Innovation, the perennial imperative, what does it mean? It is basically, we are really talking about a necessity that is a continuous necessity. Okay, we use the management jargon in order to make sure that it looks hi-fi, but otherwise it is pretty simple. Business itself is very simple. Somebody is selling, somebody is buying, and in the process people are making money and getting satisfied. People are getting satisfied with their needs to be fulfilled and with the needs being fulfilled, right? Okay, so I'll start off without taking much of a time. Is there any possibility that I will be able to really present? Can I do that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can
Yes,
present.
sir.
Okay, so are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Wonderful. Okay, so this is the topic of the day. I just want to start off with few examples so that you will be able to really understand what exactly I'm trying to drive home. Okay, so you see the boy there. There are some small pieces that he has prepared. He has basically 3D printed these items. Now he thought, let me try and innovate something, because especially the masks, when you wear, what happens is on the ear the elastic band will actually press, and it will be on a continuous usage, it will be really painful. So this boy thought, why can't I really come up with an idea where it won't be really hurting, right? So you see, such a simple thing he has come up with, and that is what we call it as innovation, right? Am I audible? No issues?
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It is audible. Sir.
So let me run through. Okay, right. So I was talking to you about this boy, he is from Canada, and he thought, how he can really, reduce the pain of actually the elastic band that you will be wearing, when you wear the mask. Okay, right. So this is called what innovation is all about. I'll give you two more examples so that we will be able to really get an idea of overview. Eutelsat, Eutelsat is a company in UAE, Dubai, and it is basically a communications company which actually helps you in giving you the telecom services. Okay, and that company has actually put up a big giant screen in a metro station of Dubai, and you can shop in the metro station. So what happens is you can choose whatever you want, and actually the things will be home delivered. Okay, so a telecommunication services company actually getting into e-commerce. Yeah, imagine the kind of diversity that we are really talking about, and anybody can really become competition when you are really thinking at very innovatively. Okay, the third one, very simple one. Hope everybody is able to see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, you see the screen there here, the lady, who is selling the corn webs, corn cobs. Basically, she is trying to really roast it on the, charcoal and give it to the people, right? And you can see there is one solar powered fan. That fan basically used for, burning the charcoal. Okay. Otherwise, you have to use a hand fan. You can see that hand fan also there on the solar panel. Okay, in order to reduce the labor, this lady was given by a Selco company a small, solar powered pan and she will be able to really, reduce our labor to, she all has to do is only the rotate the cogs. Okay. So these are all called innovations. And I will stop this example with one more. This is a floating mall in Kerala. A place called Alappuzha village, district is there. And there are, in Kerala, most of you are aware that there are a lot of backwaters. So this gentleman has come up with an idea. Why can't I really create a mall on the boat and let me take to the people? Okay. So villagers generally, they don't have access to the malls. Okay. So why can't I give the experience of a mall to the villagers? So that's how actually, so he has started this, and he is actually going, 53 villages he is covering in a week or 15 days time. Okay. So specific time slots have been given, and based on those time slots, the villagers will come and shop, and then he will move to the next village, and so on and so forth. Right. So these are basically the some of the innovations, so that you will have an idea like what exactly innovation is. We hear a lot of words like creativity, invention, innovation, discovery, so they are all not one and the same. Okay. So just start off clarifying what exactly they are. If you are really talking about creativity, the act of turning new and imaginative ideas into reality, that is creativity. So for example, M.F. Hussein's painting is a art of creativity. Okay, great creative art. Okay, right. So that is creativity. It may have implications for the society or not. Okay, say for example, if M.F. Hussein doesn't draw a painting, nothing is going to happen to the world, right? So creativity in itself, is great, but is not going to really help anybody, right? Okay. Invention is what? It is creation of a new idea or a concept. Okay, something that you have invented. Okay, so one of the greatest inventions of the humankind or human race is wheel. Okay, the wheel is one of the greatest inventions that one can think of. Okay, of course, the greatest of all time is basically money. Okay, the money is the greatest invention of a human being, and human being became the slave of that money. So that is what is called invention. Invention is creation of a new idea or a concept, right? So then comes innovation. Innovation is turning the new concept into a commercial success or widespread use. So this is what we are basically talking about, and today we will be really discussing at length, because creativity, inventions in itself, they don't have much of an idea or value to the society. But innovation is what actually makes the things, that is, whether it is the item that has been invented or item that has been created, to be used for mass, for larger audiences, and for long, more people and more people can really use it. Okay, that is what is innovation is all about. And discovery is, finding out existing ones which are already there in the system, okay, on the earth. Okay, so for example, Columbus discovered America, so America was already there, and Columbus has discovered the way to America, right? So this is basically the definitions that we use extensively in our management jargon. Okay, so I thought I will clarify how innovation differs from these things, right? Any questions till now? If there is anybody who is having any doubt, you please ask me. Hope I am audible and you can see the screen. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah, people are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir, no issues,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. We are hearing you, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Wonderful. Any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Great.
No, sir.
Okay. Let me continue, and let me actually interact and ask questions, so that you will not feel bored or go to sleep. Okay. Right. So innovation, the main skill that you need what we are really talking about is here association of things. Like there is a problem, we have to come up with an idea and find out the solution using that idea to make sure that problem is solved. That is what is basically innovation is all about. Okay, it is a cognitive skill that allows creative people to make connections between questions, problems, and ideas. Always there exist problems and questions. Okay, the greatness comes into picture when you are able to really come up with a solution. Okay, so you need to connect the dots. So for that, one of the most important thing is questioning. Albert Einstein said, very greatly, the day I stop questioning, I am dead. So you should keep on questioning. You should actually, but question the existing systems so that you will be able to really improve upon them. That is where actually innovation comes into picture. So it is the ability to really ask what if, why, and why not, and challenge the answers. Everything in the existing system looks okay, but is it the best thing? Is it the perfect thing? So how are we going to really make it better? That is where actually innovation comes into picture, right? So the innovation comes into picture when you are seeing a lot of problems. Let us say the corona or the COVID-19. Is it a problem or an opportunity? For many of us, it is a problem, but there are many people who have taken it as an opportunity. Like say, for example, more than 400 garment manufacturers in India, because there were no orders, so they had to stop their garment manufacturing. And what they have done? They have started assembling the PPE kits, that is personal protection equipment kits, for the medical staff for various purposes in terms of actually safeguarding themselves, right? So people are trying to find out, innovate as to how they can turn their businesses into opportunities that are being posed by the system. Handicraft manufacturers turned into making masks, or cosmetics and chemical companies are manufacturing and marketing hand sanitizers. More than 150 new sanitizer manufacturers have cropped up only in March 2020 alone. Okay, a WAPI-based cardboard company, they have started manufacturing cardboard beds for these patients, so that they will be able to really, create and make a lot many cardboard beds, for the temporary basis for the patients, right? So similarly, a company which was manufacturing and installing the elevators, it thought, what can I do? Okay, elevator company, elevator manufacturing and installing company, what it can do really in the this thing. So what they have thought of is, we have mechanical engineering capabilities. Why can't we come up with a foot-operated, hands-free sanitizing dispensing systems for commercial purposes, right? So, I mean, somebody sees it as a problem, somebody sees it as an opportunity. So that is where actually, comes innovation. How am I going to really turn the problem into an opportunity will enable people to really come up with innovative solutions, right? So I'm sure by now you are very clear as to what innovation is all about. Okay, right? So innovation is basically challenging the status quo. Can you challenge the status quo? Can you question the present existing systems? That is what actually real challenge is all about. If you want to be a entrepreneur, so innovation is must. That is the topic, So innovation is necessary for the startups. If you are coming up with a new business idea, you need to really ask yourself, how is it different from others? Okay, right. So let me start asking you a small question. Name a great innovator that you know. Anybody that you think is a great innovator, from the past or present or, anytime. Can somebody really, give me an answer? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. you can unmute and somebody can really give me an answer like what you think or who you think is a great innovator. Any example, any one example, any one of you who are all listening.
Zomato, sir.
Zomato, okay. Zomato is a company, okay, right? Any other? No. There are so many innovators.
Mobile phone innovators.
Mobile phone innovator, you cannot really say innovator. It is actually invention. Mobile phone itself has been invented. It was not existing before. Okay, you can always say the modifications that have been done. Yes, say for example, initially it was a feature phone type mobile phone. Now we have smartphones. Smartphone is an innovation. You understand the point?
Electric vehicles, sir.
Electric vehicle. Okay, electric vehicle in itself is invention. Okay, innovation will be actually making an efficient electric vehicle, which is say for example one of the biggest drawbacks of electric vehicle. What is it? Can somebody tell me why electric vehicles are not really famous or not popular?
So due to its charging problem, sir.
Exactly correct, right? So the biggest problem is the battery and its charging and its limitation. Say for example, a battery, if it is to be charged, it will take anywhere between 4 to 8 hours, right? So that is the biggest problem, and the battery is very heavy. These are the two major problems because of which actually it is not getting popularized. One. Number two, say for example, if you can charge the battery within 10 minutes or 5 minutes, just like the way we are able to fill our gas tanks, okay, petrol tanks, okay, then definitely it will become a great opportunity for you to really do that. So can you bring innovation or invention in a with a technology that actually help you really do that? Okay, okay, very good. Any other innovators that you can think of? I'm talking about, I asked you question, innovator. Innovator means a person who has innovated. Name of the person.
Dabbawala, sir.
Okay, Dabbawala is definitely a great innovation. There is no doubt about it. Wonderful. Okay.
Sir, Moran, the man created USB.
Sorry?
Sir, Moran, the man created USB.
USB. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Okay. But actually it is an invention. Okay. Anyway, but you can really, because what happens is invention and innovations, they really overlap. Okay. So, okay, good. Go ahead.
Sir, Tata Nano car.
Wonderful. Very good. Right. So there are so many examples that we can really come up with. One of the greatest examples of innovation that I can think of is, who is the creator?
Mr. Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. Okay. I think he is one of the greatest innovators that I can think of. I mean, he is absolutely brilliant. He is just a genius, right? Nobody asked him to really, I want an iPod or I want a, music player. So he identified the need. Okay. Many people were actually going with, the CD players or the Walkman. That time, Walkman used to be there, with the cassettes. If some of you know that. Okay. So they were all bulky and you cannot really store lot many songs in that particular equipment. So this gentleman has come up with brilliant idea of iPod, that is MP3 player. Okay, at that particular point of time, and that even today I think is one of the greatest sleek, beautiful equipment or gadget that one can think of. And most of the gadgets that he has designed are based on the designs that he has initiated for iPod, whether it is for phone or whether it is for some other things, right? Okay. So now that I have made things very clear as far as innovation and innovators are concerned, so now you know how important it is for startups to come up with brilliant idea which will make the businesses great. So innovation has to have social utility. That is one of the most important things. Okay, you see this fellow, he has invented the wheel, but you see how he is thinking of using it. Okay, so it is of no use to the society. You cannot really think of innovation which is of no use. You should know how to use it, how to utilize it. That's where actually the real challenge comes into picture. Okay, so if you really look at this, see the people were using not the wheels, but the rectangular pieces, for the box. So when somebody is asking or somebody is offering, no, thanks, we are busy. Most of us are actually like that. People are giving good solutions, but we don't want to listen or we just ignore them. Okay, so in the process, great ideas get killed. Okay, so most important thing is we have to have the innovation which will get translated into social utility, right? Okay, so one of the basic things that we need to really understand when we are really talking about these technologies, okay, people may not use the technology immediately. What actually happens is many a times people are not able to understand how it has to be really converted into a commercial product, and that is where innovation really comes into picture. The reason why I have given example of Steve Jobs. Okay? If you really see, Steve Jobs hasn't invented anything. Okay, he started with Apple company with computer, the PC, what we call it as personal computer. The personal computer was not invented by him. He is not the first person. There were many people, 2, 3, 4 people actually who invented or who has introduced and started selling also. But this gentleman is the one who could really make it a commercial product.
Sir, voice is not audible, sir.
Sorry?
Voice is not audible, sir.
Not audible?
Sir, it is audible, sir.
It is breaking, sir. It is.
Oh, is it? Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Some people are able to hear and some
Yeah,
people
sir.
are...
Okay, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, the screen is visible?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
Visible.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is visible, sir.
I don't know, because I'm getting some these messages saying that your screen is not visible, your screen is not is it okay now?
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, great. Right. So that technologies, existing technologies, how to use them properly for our businesses, that is where innovation comes into picture. So the PC, as I told you, is not invented by Steve Jobs, but he's the person who has made it a wonderful, successful, viable commercial product, right? Same is the case with all the technologies you can see on the screen, whether it is a cell phone or... See, you are no longer... Okay, wonderful. Okay. If anybody has any questions at any point of time, please stop me and ask me. Don't hesitate to really ask questions. Okay. Otherwise, it will be a monologue, and then I will feel that people are sleeping. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Okay, sir.
Great. So, as I was talking to you, the technologies, they take a lot of time to really become complex. If you see the air travel, it has taken almost 30 to 40 years before it has become a commercially visible, viable product. And that the technology has been used innovatively in order to make sure it will be really traveling using it. right? Same is the case with electricity. Same is the case with radio. Same is the case with telephone. In fact, when Alexander Graham Bell has invented the telephone, the president of America, he said, I mean, it is good, but who the hell will be using this telephone? That was his words, when telephone was invented and when he was asked to really talk on the telephone. Okay. But now, can we really live without telephone? That is where actually real challenge comes into picture. Okay. So what is happening is really the technologies may not be really being used or innovated in order to really create great products, but after some time people will be coming up with great ideas, and that is where innovation comes into picture. Okay. Same is the case with MP3 player. MP3 player existed even before your iPod has come, but who has really used it in a great wonderful way? That is Steve Jobs. Same is the case if you take another phone like iPhone. Okay. So the iPhone was one of the last entrants compared to the all big companies which has entered into the mobile cell phone market, but still it made a great impact. Okay. So that is where innovation comes into picture, right? So I just thought of actually telling you, we should search for the technologies which are nascent, which are not being used, and how we can commercialize or create products which can be used for the masses. Okay. So what is happening to the prices if you are really talking about it? At the beginning of the technologies, the products may be very costly. Say, for example, the personal computer. Okay. It was huge. The cost was very huge. So very few people used to really, afford to buy. But today, literally everybody has a personal computer, So because the prices have come down dramatically, what will happen? Your sales will go up substantially. No, that is what actually happens when the technologies have been innovated to really create products which would be of use to the great masses, right? So I have given you one product where the prices have dropped dramatically, like the personal computers. Can somebody tell me any product where the prices have gone down substantially?
Automobile industry, sir.
Automobile industry, very good. Yes. Anybody?
Telecommunication, sir.
Telecommunications, excellent.
Mobile, sir.
Mobile instruments, yes, very good. Right. Okay. There are not many technologies that have actually, dropped their prices dramatically because of the innovations and inventions and the technologies that have come up. Like people try to really use the existing technologies in order to create products. Okay. One more product or one more technology that I will talk about, which I know I am fond of, is solar cells. That is photovoltaic cells. Just in the last 30-40 years, the prices have come down dramatically. If you really see 1977, it was $77 per watt, approximately. And today it is 34 cents per watt. Okay. You can imagine what is the kind of a reduction that has taken place in the price of crystalline silicon photovoltaic cells. Okay. So what is happening? Once upon a time, we used to really think solar energy is wonderful, but we cannot really use it because the equipment to really convert the solar energy into electric energy is pretty costly. That is basically the photovoltaic cells, PV cells, what we call it as, right? But now, actually, last year, the prices of solar energy has come down below the prices of thermal energy, which used to be very cheap till recently. Okay. Now, it is going to really go in a big way. And, the Adani, the industrialist, Yesterday he was telling that he is going to be the largest solar power producer in the world by within the next 5 to 10 years, right? So that is the kind of a dramatic change that has happened because of innovations and inventions that have been taking place. It need not be very high-fi technology or great technologies. Even people can really come up with brilliant small ideas which will make a big difference. Just to give you an example, the one which is being shown on the screen, what is called, it is Kyoto box. Okay, it was presented in a Kyoto climate change conference, and this particular solar powered cooker has won a first prize of $75,000. Thank you. So what I was talking to you is, this particular product has been invented by or innovated by an African guy, basically to create a solar cooker. Okay, solar powered cooker rather. Okay, it is a small cardboard box with reflectors, and it costs only just $5. And sun is not a problem at all in Africa, so you can really keep that box outside, and you will be able to really cook rice or whatever maybe the things that you want to really cook, and put it in the box as is shown in the picture, right? So innovation need not be very hi-fi technology. It can be very simple, elegant, and actually serve the purpose. That is what is more important than anything else. So this particular Kyoto box was given actually the first prize for greatest innovations, right? I mean, just I'm giving one example so that you will be able to really understand it need not be a very high-tech product. Okay. Now, some examples I wanted to really show you. You see the transparent umbrella. Okay. A beautiful innovation, because most of the umbrellas you have cloth and which is opaque, not transparent, so you cannot really see. So what happens, you may hit people, or you may be bumping into others and all those things. But a transparent umbrella and with LED lights on those rims, so what happens, people will be able to know that there is something, and at the same time you can really see the people also. Okay, and there is a torch at the bottom of the handle. Okay, so this is multi-purpose and beautiful innovation. Umbrella has been existing for ages, but how to really come up with nice ideas, that is where actually challenge comes into picture. If you really see this chopping board, okay, so every mother will be using in the kitchen the chopping board for cutting vegetables and things. Okay, so most of the chopping boards you can really see are flat, but here you can see there is a slant where you will be able to really collect and put it into this thing. Very simple, very nice, elegant idea, so that things will not be falling off the board when you are putting into the vessel, right? So very simple idea, but then it makes a lot of utility purpose. Another one, Japanese guys have started this particular product, wherein on the flushing tank they have installed the wash basin. So you can wash your hands after using the toilet, and that toilet water, that water that you have used for washing your hands will go into the flushing tank. So that can be used to flush the toilet. Okay, so conserving water. So utility, you have to really think of how I can utilize the products in a much more efficient, elegant, and cost-effective way. One more I wanted to really show you as far as small innovation is concerned, that is switch. We all have switches in our rooms. Okay, but what happens, say for example in the night when you come, or when you go into a new room, you don't know where the switches are. Okay, so you will be actually searching for the switch to switch on the light or bulb. Okay, so what actually happens, you have to really find out where the switch is. Here this person has come up with an idea, a fluorescent strip which will be there, and so you can easily see the switch. So these are the innovations that people should come up with, which will solve the problems. It could be small problem, it could be a big problem. If you are able to really solve big problem, wonderful. Okay, right. So these are all what the startups can really think of, the direction in which they need to really think of, and that never stops. Okay, that is the reason why I said it is perennial. Perennial means continuous. It will be there, all our lives. Okay, and imperative means necessity. Necessity has to be, is there and will be there, however great you are. Okay, so you can always improve upon those products or those systems. So how are we going to really do that is where actually the challenge comes into picture. One of the greatest innovations that I love very much is the water wheel. I don't know how many of you have seen. This has been for carrying water. Most of the villages, they actually travel a lot, right? So they will be fetching the water from the well or the tap that is there far away from their houses. So they will be carrying the water in the vessels, putting on their head or besides their body and all. So this is where actually somebody has come up with a small tank which can be rolled down to the house. So what happens? It will be much easier and you don't have to really exert yourself, and it is not laborious. That is where actually innovation comes into picture. So this is what we call it as innovation. Can we come up with products which are useful, which will solve the problems of the people, and at the same time they will be affordable? That is most important. If you cannot really create an affordable product, then it is of no use. The technology may be great, but if you cannot really create a product which is of use to the people, then it is of no use. That can you tell me one great technology which we are not using to the greatest extent, or a product that you can think of? I'm asking the audience.
Sir, medical drone, sir.
Medical drone. It is not being used?
In India, sir, in India, still they are not using.
Why they are not using? What do you think?
Sir, due to government policies, government regulations. Sir.
Correct. Okay. But as a product, it is not unviable, right? Now drones are pretty much used in various places, and the only thing is that there are a lot of security issues, and that is where actually they need to really come up with as to how to really control. Otherwise, people can use for destructive purposes. That is the reason why governments are not able to really come up with policies. But as a product, they are good. Yes.
Sir, we are using high cost ventilators, sir, regarding this COVID-19.
Right. So actually I read somewhere somebody has come up with a portable ventilator which is very cheap. Okay. I mean, I really don't know how far it has come into commercial production and all. Yes, definitely. Yes, you are right. Yeah. Any other technologies which we know, but they are pretty costly, or it is not useful, extensively used by the masses. No idea? Okay, I'll give you a few examples. Sorry?
Remote ceiling fan. Remote ceiling fans.
Remote ceiling fan is there. You can always buy a ceiling, remote. But it is of not much of a great use. That is the reason why many people don't really use it. But yes, but it already exists. And if people want to really buy, you can buy. but how far is it really a big use? That is where actually the real challenge comes into picture. Like, is everybody is looking for that? That is where actually we need to really think of. Yeah. Anyway, but yes, any other?
Sir, 3D printing technology.
Once again, yes, 3D printing technology, actually, if you really say, 5 years, 10 years back, it was very costly. Now it is becoming relatively much affordable. Okay. Maybe in India, it is not really prevalent that much. Okay. But definitely in US and Europe, people have been using 3D technology extensively, and they are, easily available also. In fact, the first slide I have shown, the Boy Scout who has created that, strap. Okay, he has actually 3D printed those straps. So he didn't make it with the machine or something like that. He just designed it and 3D printed those products, and he has in his house, and so he has distributed to all the medical personnel. Right. But yes, still it can be innovated to make it more affordable. Right. I agree with you. Yeah. Any more?
Sir, laser keyboard, sir.
Laser keyboard. Okay. So that is not, it is existing, yes, but I really don't know why it is not becoming famous. Okay. Is it the cost? I'm not so sure. But, definitely, yes, it is not prevalent, and it would be much useful, as you rightly said, so that you don't have to have a physical keyboard, and you can just project the keyboard and you can type it out. Correct. Yes, ma'am, you are right.
Sir, a mission which we can dig a child from borewell, sir, which is using in Japan.
Right. Okay. Some of the things which we feel that actually we are not able to really do it fast, and how we can really do it. Can we really have an equipment or a system where we will be able to really solve it? Somebody falls into a borewell, they take 2-3 days to really bring the boy up. Okay. So yes, definitely you are right. Yeah. Okay. So there are umpteen number of products that we can really think of to get innovated to make it affordable. Okay. Sorry.
The electronic health record, sir.
Electronic. I'm not able to hear you properly.
The electronic health record.
Madam, I am not able to hear you properly. If somebody has heard properly, please tell me.
Sir, I'm telling the electronic health records.
Electronic health records.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now it is audible. Okay. Fine. I mean, medical transcription, that is, extensively being done, and most of the, call centers, medical call centers, they actually do, transcriptions, electronic health record, maintenance, they will be doing it. All the doctors will be, prescribing, and they will be scribbling the things, and they will be translated into electronic records by the medical transcription agents. Okay. So it is already there, and only thing is that it is not very prevalent in India because the cost involved. Otherwise, yes, you are right. It should be there, and it should be so that, it can be accessed easily, across the cloud for people to really do that. Yeah. Good. So, I mean, that's what, there are so many things that we can think of how to actually use the existing technologies and come up with the solutions. You can really do wonders. Let me tell you, all these great innovators, they have used the existing technologies to solve the problems, and they have really solved it. I will throw one challenge. If some of you, especially the electronic and electrical and mechanical engineers, okay, so solar car, right? So solar car is a wonderful concept, isn't it? most of you might have seen also. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Correct. So we don't have solar cars on our roads. So can we think of ways and existing technologies how it can be used in order to create a solar car? If you can come up with solar car, what will happen? You don't need the petrol or diesel, right? So the especially in countries like India, we don't have any problem of pollution control, and the running costs will be almost zero, right? So it will be a great success if we can come up with a solar car, isn't it? But how to really create, that is where the real challenge comes into picture. Is the technology sufficient or the design sufficient enough to really create a great car which is affordable and which is useful, right? So these are all the things that one needs to really think, and we can really move in that direction. So technologies exist, but affordable products may not exist. That is the gap where you have to find out and try and innovate. That is where actually innovation comes into picture. I'll just give one example. Can you see this on my screen? What is this? Can somebody
Yes, sir.
tell?
Sports car, sir.
Sports car, okay.
Future car, sir.
Future car, okay. Okay, this is called piezoelectric car. All of you or most of you are engineers, so you must know what is piezoelectric, right? So piezoelectric is basically a system where the vibrational kinetic energy is converted into electric energy. Okay, so you can see in the bottom of the picture, there are a lot of fins. The car has a lot of fins. Okay, so when the car moves with the battery, it starts off, and the fins will be actually flabbering. They will be fluctuating, and they will be actually, vibrating. So the vibrational energy will be converted into electrical energy. Okay, and using that energy, the car will move. Okay, concept wise, wonderful, isn't it? But it is not practical because it is not an innovation. It is only a invention. Okay, so all inventions need not be the products that we would be using. Just like as I told you, like solar powered car. Okay, same is the case with this piezoelectric car. So we need to really come up with how we can make these products more affordable, more useful. That is where the innovation comes into picture, right? So for us to really become innovative, you have to be creative, you have to be pioneer, and first to think in that direction. You have to have buoyant thinking, you have to be distinctive, you have to be innovative, you have to be inventive, you have to be original, conceptual. So these are the things that you should inculcate as personality traits in order to become a great innovator. There is a great book called Get Innovative, Stay Competitive by Gareth Loudon. This person has written this book, this author, a beautiful book. The persons who are interested can really read this book and get an idea like what are the concepts that we need to really look at and how to be innovative, right? So I have given quite good number of examples, and hope I have driven home the point of what is innovation, right? So I think I have some 20 minutes time, 23 minutes time, okay? Because I was asked to stop at 11:30, okay? And then from 11:30 to 12, we will take some questions, okay? Before that, I would give you two concepts or two examples where innovations are really predominantly working as of now. Okay, one is bottom of the pyramid. I'm sure most of you have heard about this particular concept of bottom of pyramid. If you know already, then I will not explain the concept. Have you heard of this concept? Hello.
No, no, sir.
No,
If
sir.
it is
No, sir.
possible, please explain, sir.
Okay, fine. So, bottom of the pyramid concept has been initiated by Dr. C.K. Prahlad. Okay, he is the management guru. He was, he is no more. He was management guru. Okay, C.K. Prahlad has started this concept, and what he has said is, at the bottom of the pyramid of wealth, okay, whether it is in India or whether it is in the world, there are lot many people. If you really see the two pyramids that I am showing on the screen, left one is the India's wealth pyramid, and right one is the world's wealth pyramid. Okay, so the left one, if you can see, around 92% of the people, okay, are actually having less than $10,000 income. And if you really see, for America, for the world, it is just 68%, and in China it is 63%. So we have only 7% of the people, 7.7% of the people above $10,000 income. That means many people are at the bottom of the pyramid. Okay, and most of the people actually create products for not those segment, because many people think that there are no they don't have money, they can't spend, etc., etc. But he said the number of people are very high, and the amount, absolute amount multiplied by the population, if you really do it, that is huge amount. And all those people have needs, have wants, and they want to really graduate, and they spend. Okay, so why can't we really create products catering to those segments? That is the idea that he has given as a concept. It is not he has come up with this great idea or something like that. Many people have actually used this concept, and let me tell you, these are the people. Have you heard some of these people? Have you heard any of these persons? Karsan Bhai Patel, C.K. Ranganathan, Muhammad Yunus, K.I. Varaprasad Reddy? Anyone? Has anybody heard about any of these people I am talking about here?
No, sir.
Not even a single one? Okay, I'll tell you.
No, sir.
Okay, the Karsan Bhai, he is the owner of Nirma. Okay, so Nirma washing powder, I'm sure everybody knows, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. He is the person who has thought of actually creating a washing powder for the people at the bottom of the pyramid. Because at that particular point of time, we are talking about late 60s. That time, there was only one washing powder called Surf. And that was pretty costly. Only upper middle class and rich people used to use that. Otherwise, people used to use, the bars, detergent bars. Okay, so Karsan Bhai thought, why can't we create a product which can be used by the people who cannot really afford Surf? And that is how Nirma washing powder has come into picture. And today, Nirma is more than $1 billion company. Okay, so you can imagine a small idea how it has got translated into a big business. Okay, similarly, C.K. Ranganathan. Have you heard of Chick shampoo?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. He is the person who has actually come up with the Chick shampoo. Okay. He is the first person in the world, and the entire world, to actually pack shampoo in sachet. Small sachets you get today, 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 3 rupee, shampoo sachets.
Yes,
He is
sir.
the person who has started that. Okay, so he started at that particular point of time in 1980s for 50 paise. Okay. So he thought, at that time, actually, they were available only in the big bottles. Okay. So he thought, why can't we come up with small sachet where, for 1 day or 2 days, you can use that shampoo and people can afford that. If it is only 50 paise or 1 rupee, people can afford. But if you say 10 rupees to 20 rupees, at that particular point of time, I'm talking about, okay, they could not afford. So this gentleman has come up with that particular idea. It is shampoo was existing, the sachets were existing. Only thing is that packing shampoo in sachet was the great idea. That is what his innovation is all about. Muhammad Yunus, this gentleman is, who is started Grameen Bank. Grameen Bank is a microfinance bank, and he is basically from Bangladesh, and that has become a revolution in the entire world. And today we see a lot of microfinance companies. Okay, so he is the first person to really think of in a big way. Okay, microfinance might have existed even before that, but he is the person who has really created in a very organized, systematic way. Okay, and in fact, actually, he was given Nobel Prize for that. Okay, right. K. Varaprasad Reddy. I don't know how many of you have heard about Santa Biotechnic company. So Santa Biotechnic is a company which has actually come up with a molecule for hepatitis B. Hepatitis B was a disease or a problem, some people have, and the medicine was very costly. At that time, only the developed countries have the patent to do that. And Mr. Varaprasad Reddy has come up with, actually he is an electronics engineer, but still he has, he went into biotechnology, and he has come up with, he is a Hyderabad-based person. This company is called Santa Biotechnic. Okay, and he has come up with extremely affordable hepatitis B vaccine. Okay, and he has produced at a fraction of what the multinational companies were selling. Okay, that is what his innovation and inventions are all about. So you can really think of these people who cater to the bottom of the pyramid. That means the people who can shell out only less amount of money, who has less disposable incomes, they can really buy these products, and that makes a great business proposition as well, right? I will take one more concept and stop my presentation. Then we will throw open the this thing for audience, okay, for questioning. So another concept which I thought of telling is open innovation. Open innovation is one of the wonderful concepts that has gained traction in the last, say, 2 decades. Okay, so what is open innovation? I'll just give 2 examples so that you will be able to really understand what it is. Okay, Goldcorp is a company, and its CEO Rob McEwen, he has made 400 MB of geological survey data on its Red Lake property available over the internet. Okay, so Red Lake property, this company has bought because there exists gold mines in that particular area, but that is a huge property. Okay, so you do not know where exactly you have the gold. So if you are digging in a wrong place, you will be spending a lot of money and energy and resources, but you may not get the gold. So the geological survey data has to be proper in order to find the right digs, where I have to really dig, right place to dig, so that I will be able to really get the gold. Okay, so what he has done, he has given this data of 400 MB to the audience and to the open public, and he said, you suggest me where I should dig. On all the geological experts and the mining experts, they can study the data and they can suggest, you please dig at this place, you please dig at this place. And if you suggest me the right places, I will give you $575,000. That is pretty huge amount, something like, 4 crore rupees. Okay. So 4 crore rupees has been put up just to suggest where to dig. And if they have dug there and they get the gold, you will get the prize. Okay. So the contest has produced 110 targets. People have given different experts, technology, knowledgeable people. They have given 110 targets, and over 80% of which have proved to be productive. Okay. So what happens? You have got, by spending just 4 crores, 5 crore rupees, and you have got 8 million ounces of gold, which is worth more than $3 billion. So 3 billion means approximately 20,000 crores. What he has given? He has given 4-5 crores of prize, and he got gold of 20,000 crores. That is what we are really talking about. So take help of the knowledge that is there in the world. There are so many brilliant, intelligent people. Okay. You pose problems and you can really get solutions, and you will be you don't have to break your head alone. Okay. So that is what is open innovation is all about. So taking the cue, a company called Innocentive.com, they have started this portal way back in 1990s. Okay. So they said, hey, we are a portal. We can actually post your problems, and people will be able to really see these problems, and they can really give you solutions. So why they should give you solution? You incentivize them. You give them prizes so that they will be able to, motivated to really give the solutions. Okay. So all the companies, all the individuals who have problems, they used to put up their problems on the Innocentive.com, and they used to give the large cash rewards. Okay. So people across the world, there are brilliant people. Okay. So, they are not related to the company at all, but they have subject knowledge. So what they can do is they will be posting the solution, only theoretical solution. They don't have to really prove it. And if it is solved, if it is actually, the problem has been solved, they will be given that prize. So the prices will vary anywhere between $1,000 to $100,000, $1 lakh. $1 lakh means approximately 70 lakh rupees. Okay. So that is the kind of prices that are there on this particular portal. Anybody, you, I, anybody can go to that particular website, and if you think you can solve any of those problems, they have been categorized very nicely depending on the subject. Whether it is chemistry related, physics related, or management related, social innovations, anything, so you can find out your area of expertise and go to that particular site and actually solve the problems if you can, and you will be getting prize. Okay. So this is what is called open innovation. That means you are opening up the problem to the world. Companies like Procter & Gamble, they post the problems. I want a chemical which is having less surfactancy, surface tension, less surface tension. Okay. So like that, they will be posing, and if you are a smart chemist, you will be able to really give the solution, and they will be giving you the prize. Right. So this is how actually people have been really thinking innovatively as to how I can become an innovator, right? So either you can create a product or a service or a system. Okay. There are multiple ways to think as a startup for you to be innovative, right? So these are the two examples, the bottom of the pyramid and open innovation, or the concept that I wanted to really get introduced to, so that you will be able to really get an idea what innovation is all about, how we can really think in what direction, right? Some of the greatest examples of innovations like Coca-Cola, IBM, Windows, 3M, BMW, Marriott, Facebook, YouTube, and of course Apple, one of my favorite companies. These are all some of the companies. There are so many companies. It is not that only these companies are really innovative. There are umpteen number of companies which are really doing well, and they, in their own might and their own way, they are great innovative companies, right? So giving one or two examples, I will close my presentation. And somebody has mentioned rightly, Tata Nano is one of the greatest innovations one can think of in automobile industry. Of course, it is not a great commercial success. It actually, the Tatas have stopped the production of Tata Nano. Okay, but it was considered as one of the greatest innovations in the automobile industry, after the automobile itself. Okay, creating a pure utilized, utility like a car, at 1 lakh rupees at that particular point of time when they have started this particular product in 2009, 2008. Okay, so in fact, the Tata Motors has become the 6th most innovative group or innovative company on the list of the Forbes, in that particular year, 2009 or 10. Okay, just because of Tata Nano. So Tata Nano has been considered as one of the greatest innovations, in that particular industry. Okay, but it has failed. So taking cue from the failures, why it has failed, what are the reasons, can we really come up with a product which is similar to that, but which will not fail? That is where actually Bajaj has come up with this particular product called RE60. What they call it as, they are calling it as, quadricycle. Okay, and it has to get permission from Government of India to ply on the roads. So they are waiting for the approvals and permissions. Once they get, they will be launching it. And actually they are saying it is an alternative to not your car, but as an alternative to actually auto, right? So hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
So the Bajaj has come up with this beautiful product, and they say that it is not a competition to the car, but it is a replacement to be to the auto. Okay, so it is more convenient, it is more elegant, it is more better looking compared to auto. So that is how actually they are projecting this particular product. Okay, not comparing or competing with product like Nano, right? So these are all the innovations that we can really think of, and startups can really think, taking cue from what I have talked about in the last 1.5 hours. You can really come up with brilliant solutions to solve the problems and make a business proposition. That is more important. A great idea or great is not enough. You should be able to really make money out of that. Then only it will be a great idea. It will be a great innovation. Because at the end of the day, when you do business, you should be able to really make money. Okay, unless you are thinking of doing charity, that is a different matter altogether. Okay, that is also a great innovation in terms of if you are able to really come up with a great product and you distribute it free. Okay, fine, that's fine. But then that's what actually the boy on the first slide has done it. He has printed those straps and he has distributed it. Okay, nice idea, wonderful idea, but he didn't want to really make money to begin with. Okay, maybe he can really convert it into a business idea if that really clicks and many people are there to really buy it or improvise it on that. Okay, right. So this is what actually I thought of sharing with you as far as innovation for startups are concerned. So I will it is 11:28, so I'm almost on the dot. So if you have any questions, I will throw open the audience to come up with questions so that I will be able to answer. Hope you are able to hear me. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
We are
Great.
hearing.
Yeah. So hope you have all understood, what I have tried to really convey, the importance of innovation, and especially for startups, how they can be innovative in terms of creating new products or services. What are the opportunities that you can really think of? Okay. So how you can utilize the concepts like bottom of the pyramids, open innovation, so those are the things that I thought of actually sharing to you. I can keep on talking about innovation, because in fact, actually, I take innovation as a subject to be taught in a trimester. Okay, so I can keep on talking about innovation, but because of the paucity of the time, so I will stop here. So if you have any questions, I will be more than glad to really try and answer your questions if I can.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, good afternoon.
Very good afternoon. Good morning.
Sir,
Even
this
afternoon.
is no. Yes, good morning. This is Dr. K. Mallikarjuna, Pillai College of Engineering, Kurnool.
Yes, doctor.
Sir, I have an idea on an innovation. Can it be patented, sir? Idea can be patented.
Okay.
Or we
If
need
it is
to
right.
We need to go ahead with fabrication. After
Okay.
fabrication only we need to go for patent.
If it is a product and if you have design, then you can
Yes.
go for patent. Okay.
Yes, sir. I have designed and documented all the design.
Wonderful. Then you can really go for it. And
Okay,
in the patenting system, you need to really mention what exactly is your innovation, and what is it that you have invented, how is it different from others, and what is the utility. All those things they will be asking, and you have to really tell. And if it is not patented by anybody else, then you will get patent. Yes.
Okay, sir. One more question. In
Yeah.
my point of view, what I understood is innovation is already modified product is if you do some modifications in the existing product, that is innovation. And the new
Okay.
product is obtained, it is invention.
Right. Broadly, yes, you are right. But what actually happens is, there is a overlap between innovation and invention. Okay. Let us say, if you talk about bulb, is a bulb an innovation or invention?
It's invention, sir.
Okay. So, but actually, if you really see, there are a lot many people who have tried to really make the bulb, but they failed. Okay. What but James Watt has done. Sorry, not James Watt. I mean,
Alva Edison.
Thomas Alva Edison. Okay. What he has done is he has bought lot many patents from those people who have failed, and he has improvised, and he failed so many times, and finally he got it. Okay. So you cannot really say it is 100% invention of that gentleman, but the product itself is new. It never existed before bulb. Correct? From that point of view, it is invention. You see? So, I mean, it is a combination of invention and innovation. If I am a professor of innovation, then I will say it is innovation. If I am professor of invention, then I will say invention. Right?
Okay.
So,
Yes.
as I told you, like say for example, iPod, MP3 player. Okay, MP3 technology existed before. So, using the technology, a product has been prepared.
Yes, sir.
So that's why it is called innovation. Okay, but you can always counter question saying that there never existed iPod, so it is a new product. So you can say it is invention also, right? So
Okay, sir.
let us not bother about the nomenclature. Okay, the concept we need to really understand. Predominantly, as you said correctly, existing technologies, if you are using and trying to come up with a new product or a service, then it is called innovation.
Sir, there is a product. In that
Raj,
product,
this
if
is
I
Bhaskar
made any
Patel.
corrections, if I do any modifications, then it will
Yes.
be innovation.
Yes, definitely yes.
Yeah.
Raj, I'm
Okay, sir.
Bhaskar
Okay. Thank you,
Patel.
sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I
able to
just
hear you
wanted you
properly.
to I just wanted you to throw some light on Indian Jugaad, because we keep hearing lot on this.
Okay. There is a lot of breakage in your question. Anyway, I understood what you are trying to really talk about.
I know people have written quite a lot of books on those things.
Okay. Patil, actually, it was not very clear because your voice was cutting down. Okay. But I understood your question. I think you are talking about Indian Jugaad. Okay. So Indian Jugaad, yes, definitely is what we call it as innovation. Okay. How you can come up with small Jugaad. Jugaad means improvisations. Actually, if you really translate the word into English. Okay. So the small improvisations are definitely innovations. And they have been extensively written about Indian Jugaad. So I didn't get your full question properly. So if you can repeat it, that would be great. Dr. Patil is, I think, he is not on the line. Okay, any other?
Sir, I'm Usha, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you share your innovative thought for us.
Yeah.
One of them.
Madam, your voice is not audible.
Sir, please, will you share one of the innovative thought with us?
Okay. Okay. It is too generic a question, like, okay. See, as I was talking to you, there are so many ways that you can be innovative. How you can be innovative is you every day see a lot of problems around you. Okay. Arey yaar, what is happening? Had it been there, it would have been better. Or had the system been more smoother, it would have been better. So you really come across problems every day. So come up with a solution that is innovation. And if you can really make it commercially viable, then it is real innovation. Hello?
Sir, I'm not asking that, sir.
Yeah. What is your
Sir, I'm
question then?
asking, please share any innovative idea what you have.
What I have, if I
Yes, sir.
have the idea,
Yes,
then
sir.
I will invent and I will innovate, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you. Say,
Okay,
for
sir.
example,
Thank you.
yeah, I'll give you one or two examples so that you can think in that direction. Okay, right? Say, for example, if you are really talking about a problem wherein you feel, let us say we are having this particular webinar and we are having a lot of problems in terms of communication, right? So how are we going to really smoothen it? The technologies are available, the systems are available, but we are not able to really have good system and good communication across. can you improvise or can you come up with an idea as to how to solve this problem? Okay, so that could be, way of thinking. I mean, I'm really talking about as to identify a problem, come up with a solution. Like, as I already told you, like, a solar powered car, I would love to really have it. Solar power is existing, solar power systems are existing, car is existing, car, movements and car design and technologies are available. So how do you really combine these two things to make a solar powered car? That would be a great innovation, right?
Sir, a solar car will be applicable only in summer season, sir. But when you come to in winter, it cannot be much more useful, no, sir.
Okay. If you are really talking about like a country like India, okay, even in winter, we don't have, because it is not only the sun, it is actually the light. Okay. Photovoltaic cells is basically the light energy is getting converted into the electric energy. Okay. So you don't need the sun heat. Heat is not necessary. Light is necessary. So definitely, yes, you are right. The light will be less in the winter seasons, but in India, the light is, quite good even in winter season. If you are talking about Europe or America, yes, there will be a problem, especially for the solars. This thing, you are right.
Sir, solar
Sir,
completely works on the
instead of
solar, or
only
it will work
solar
on the petrol
panels,
also, no, sir?
Yeah. Sorry.
sir, I'm sorry.
Please.
Instead of only solar panels, if we
Yes.
fix turbines for that, while we are traveling due to air, due to that also there may be charging of batteries in that.
Yeah. You can really combine 2-3 technologies and do it. Yes, you are 100% correct. See, that is what innovation is all about. How to really come up with a solution. Okay, you posed a solution problem that in the night I don't have sun. How will I drive? Okay, first simple solution is you can actually store the energy in the batteries and you can drive in the night. Okay, that is one solution. But then the battery packs will be increasing and all those kind of things. Okay, the alternative solution is, okay, fine, can I really use another technology which I can use in the same car? Maybe in the morning I will be using, when sun is there, I will be using as a solar car, and if the sun is not there, I will be using as a some other car. Like, say for example, your what is the fuel cells? Okay, fuel cells, I'm sure you're all aware of, right? Are you aware of fuel cells?
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah, fuel cells uses water and it breaks into hydrogen and oxygen. And hydrogen is used as the fuel and oxygen is let out in the system, right? So you can really use it, and that will be actually, water will be coming out as a output after the combustion is happening, right? So you can really think of various ways. Fuel cell is already existing. The fuel cell vehicles are there, but only thing is that how to make those vehicles more affordable, how to improve upon the technology that is existing. That is where actually innovation comes into picture in a big way.
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Sir, nowadays electrical scooters are coming to picture, no, sir?
Correct.
Yes, sir. So it is very good, good thing, because no more usage of fuel and no more wastage of energy, sir, like fuel energy and petrol energy.
But you are using electricity to
Yes, sir.
charge
Yes,
the
sir.
battery.
It takes time, sir.
My friend,
So
who
where that electricity is coming, most of the electricity is coming from thermal energy. Coal you are using, and thermal plants are producing a lot of pollution. As a battery car, yes, you are right. It doesn't really create any pollution.
Actually, he was done.
But
PhD in IAS.
So if you are actually using a solar powered battery car, electric car, or some other possibility, then definitely yes, it would be much more.
CEO of his own company.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Nowadays, streetlights are also solar only.
Yeah, there are so many, because the solar cells come down, and only thing is that people have to come up with right solutions so that they will be able to really use the technology in a proper way. But still, if you are really talking about a car, it needs a lot of solar panels. So how do you really design the panel system? That's where actually the challenge comes into picture, and that is the reason why the solar cars are not actually viable as on date. Yeah, I'm hearing somebody want.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, is the Tata Nano car is innovation, so why did it failure in India, sir?
Okay, that is a big strategic management case study. Okay, right? It is wonderful question actually. What actually happened is many things did not go right as far as marketing is concerned. The Tata has marketed it as a cheap car. Okay, so when you say cheap car, cheap and car, they don't go well in Indian context. So when you say car, that means I am a rich person. That is actually is a mentality. We haven't really grown out of that mentality. Okay, but when you say cheap, that means you are taking away that credit of being rich. Okay, so that is psychological positioning of the product is one big reason for failure. Next reason for failure is the mileage. Okay, so who are your target customers? You wanted to really convert the scooter people who are traveling on scooter to come on to the Nano. Okay, the scooter, the operating cost, it is 30-40 kilometers per liter, whereas the Tata Nano is 12 to 15 to 18 at the most. 18 is on paper, but actually you will get only 12 to 15 kilometers per liter. So that means your cost of running the vehicle is doubled, which very few number of people can afford at that particular level of strata. Okay, so these are two main reasons why it has failed. And bad publicity is another reason. Like when it was introduced, few cars got burnt. So that was a bad publicity that has come up. So people have hesitated. So they thought it is only more of a toy car rather than a full-fledged car. In fact, actually, the car is very good, actually. So, but people don't really look at what the reality is. People listen to media, read in the papers, and they actually decide, form the opinions. That is where actually problem comes into picture. So there are so many things, and broadly these are the 3 points which are actually the reasons for failure.
Sir, it was having auto engine, no, sir?
Auto
engine.
No, it is regular combustion engine only. It is you have the ignition. It is a petrol engine. Okay, so it 600 cc. So later on they have introduced that push button start and all. Okay, but initially when it was introduced, the basic model is a typical combustion engine, internal combustion engine.
Sir, one simple question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, if you bring any innovation this year,
yes,
that thing will come into that, what we call, sir?
Practice.
or practice or some get into
Reality.
sir, due to this COVID.
Huh? No, sorry, I didn't get your question properly.
Sir, if you did any innovation on anything, sir, or any
Okay.
product you bring to that market,
Okay.
it will become famous, or what will happen, sir, in this season?
No, if it is, the product, understand one thing. If it is a product that can be really be wanted or, desired by the people, then it will have demand and people will buy it. But if you are coming up with a product which people don't see it as a necessity or required, then it will not have demand. So then it will not be a success. Be very clear at any point of time. If majority of the people think, wow, this is a great product, I should have it, I should buy it, and it is cheap also, at least according to the perception of the customers. Customer should feel, say for example, when iPhone has been introduced, it was very costly. Not many people could afford to really buy it. Okay. So that was the first smartphone in real sense. Okay. But later on, what happened? There are so many other competitors who have imitated the iPhone and came up with a smartphone at much cheaper rates. Today, literally everybody, you and I and everybody has this smartphone, right? So 10 years back, very few people have smartphone. Today, lot many people have smartphone, basically because of the innovations that you have created to make that particular product called smartphone a feasible, viable product and cheap product where majority of the people can buy. So any of your ideas, if people perceive it as good product and worthy product and cheap, there will be demand.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, an innovative idea, sir. As vehicles on highways are facing with many accidents, it would be better if you use solar lights, sir. Those which work on solar light, when the light stop receiving the solar rays, then it starts glowing.
Correct.
So that it does not need any laborious work to, sir.
You are right. Now, basically, people have been thinking of actually setting up the solar, street lights or highway lights. Okay. But then, it involves cost. Okay. It as a system, it is good. But, the light itself, the product itself is costly and you have to spend money. Okay. So that is one of the reasons why, people are not going for it. Definitely, yes. Say, for example, if you see in, say, for example, in Ahmedabad, we have a park where we have solar panel, powered, lights in the park. Okay. So that, you don't need to really give electricity separately. So there are batteries and, as soon as there will be a timer after 7 o'clock, the battery automatically gets, switched on and you will get the lights. Correct? You can do that. But then if you are talking about highways, that is huge stretch of land. So, you have to spend money. Yes, if you spend money, definitely, it is definitely a great idea. And people have been trying to use it. But at the end of the day, there is a capital cost. So if people are ready to really invest that, because I'm not putting anything now. So it is zero cost for me as far as lighting is concerned. Now you are asking me to put up the solar light. Yes, the running cost will not be there, but there will be initial cost. So if the initial cost is bearable, if people are ready to bear, government is ready to bear, then they can really do it. Or government can really put it as a clause in the, contract, because nowadays it is all PPP, public-private partnerships. Okay. So all the roads are, highways and all expressways, they're all actually, made by private people. And, they will be actually leasing out on, and you have to pay the toll tax. So in the system itself, you have to lay down this particular width of that road with the street lights or with the lights, then it can be done. But then the cost will go up. So if the government is ready to really bear the cost, yes, they can.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can we hear other messages on YouTube from you, sir?
Okay, I'm not a big YouTube fan or YouTube user. Okay, so you may not be really finding, my presentations. If people like you, more and more people ask me, then maybe I'll start a channel and will give this thing.
Sir.
Sorry to interrupt. This program will be available on YouTube. We'll share the link after this program.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. If there are any 2 more, 3 more questions, I think it is 5 more minutes are there. I'm ready to answer if there are any questions. Okay, if there are no questions, then I will leave you with a thought. Yeah, please. Somebody is going to ask something.
No, sir. I was just trying to say Ramesh Nayak to propose a vote of thanks.
Question, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Hello?
Yeah, please.
I am Rajsekhar Rao.
Sir.
Yes, Mr. Rao.
From Naganpur, sir. What are the innovative patterns, sir?
What are the innovative patterns?
Yes, sir.
Can you please elaborate what exactly you mean by that?
Only just meaning, sir.
Innovative patterns means, the ideas that you would be really coming up with, like, say, for example, as I told you, the Thomas Alva Edison is one of the greatest innovators. He has innovated so many items, so many products. Okay. And pattern means you have a system of actually doing it again and again. As somebody was telling, I have come up with a product, but it is not final. Say, for example, that is the reason why I have showed you, just a minute.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I have shown you the photo of iPod. When iPod was introduced, it looked something different. And today, if you really see the iPod, it is entirely different. So they have improvised. There has been, a lot of innovative patterns in the way that that particular product has been really, innovated and brought to the present situation. So today it is iPod Touch. Okay. So earlier they were having some buttons on the iPod. Today everything is iPod Touch. There is only a screen, and you will be really using that. On the. So these are all the way of really innovating on a continuous basis on the existing product or for the new products.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yes, Dr. Patil, back to you.
So thank you, sir. This is Dr. Ramesh Nayak, IIC convener of the institute. Very thankful to the Basuraj sir for giving a wonderful session to us, and we learned a lot from your session, sir. And you explained well about of that invention, innovation, jugaad, and all these. Then you are clearly explained to our participants. I'm very thankful to sir have you a resource person to our session. And also it is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks. First and foremost, I want to say thank to the IIC, Institutions Innovation Council, MHRD, for sponsoring to us. Next, I would like to say thanks to our management, correspondent Padmavathamma Garu, and our beloved managing director G. Ranath Reddy Garu, and our director Madam V.K. Vani Madam, and our principal sir Bhaskar Patel sir. And want to say thank to all my colleagues, technical team, non-teaching, and who supposed to make this program a grand success. Thank you, Ananda. And next is an information regarding certificates to the participants, and we already shared to the link to the participants into the chat box. And you not to worry about of that. Those who are not getting the certificates, and a Telegram group is there, and please log in. Any kind of issues are there, please contact to us. We will clear your issues. And one more information I would like to share to you all. And we want to host one more program on intellectual property rights in the coming days, within 10 or 15 days. One more program is there, and hope all of you stay in the group, and we will share the information to you all. So thank you everyone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramesh. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, thank you for your valuable speech, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Very good session for.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, can we call it a day?
Thanks a lot, sir. Have a good time, sir.
Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you a lot,
You're
sir.
welcome, ma'am. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, you are from IIT Kharagpur, sir.
No. I am from Venkateswara University. You know, like Dr. Patil, your principal and I were classmates. Engineering, BTech. Okay, bye guys.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sanjay, sir, you have to stay on the online only, sir, now.
No, you can leave the session.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can we know LinkedIn, Telegram link, please, sir?
Please tell me. Sure, I will share the Telegram group link here. Please join all of you.